So you guys like know that audio, right? Where it's like the I'm an international super spy. Super spy. Super spy. That's this place. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Solar System, where we help you understand the system your soul goes into. This is Moon Days with Michael. I'm your host, the Royal Triangle Michael, and I am cutting out the esoteric middleman and giving you the tools you need to connect yourself right to the freaking source. So, welcome back to the masterclass known as the Orion constellation, where we're talking about the Orion constellation. And in this episode, we are finishing up our little talk on the 3 stars inside of the Orion's belt, even though it is technically 6 stars, because you know the last one was a double star system, or binary star system. And this one, we're going to be talking about the last star in the Orion's belt, finishing up the trifecta, is, ow, my elbow, that hurt, Alnitak. A-L-N-I-T-A-K. Weird name. I don't know. You guys already know the drill behind this series. We're breaking down its placement, its orb, its natures, its influences, its fortune, to give you a general understanding of what it means to have this placed inside of your chart. So, without any further ado, Alnitak. Let's hop into it. So, this star can be found in about 25 degrees of Gemini and has an orb of 2. Now, the cool thing about this is that it is a multiple star system. So, with Alnitak, it was a single star. With Mintaka, it was a binary star. And with this last one, it is a triple star system. But, you know, once it gets up to there, it's a multiple star system. But there's 3 of them. The trifecta within trifectas. So, with that being said, its influence revolves around these, 3 stars being kind of focused on a singular point, making it seem like it's one influence. But there's like 3 kind of separate ideas behind this star, which we'll get into, of course. So, it has the nature of Mars and Saturn, which we'll get into in a little bit. Once you understand its influence, the nature kind of makes sense. So, let's start by understanding this star's influence. If you want to think about this star, you got to think of like a spy, right? Going in behind enemy lines, trying to receive data, information, making people think that, we're friends and all that, and then before it stabs you in the back, right? Or, going behind enemy lines and, infiltrating, making people think, we're brothers in arms. And then, boom, they get what they need and they're out, right? And this star has a very similar nature to it. And the reason for this is that it's a very connective mechanism from the esoteric realm to the physical realm, right? Where the spirit of Archangel Michael is connecting himself in a certain way to certain influences down here on Earth, in order to give people the influences and tools that they need, right? But by doing that, you have to understand that Earth is not a very friendly and nice place. It is straight down to it and to the point. It is a very terrible place. And it sucks to say and it sucks to experience this, but at the end of the day, that's just the truth. The whole point of having this energy in this constellation is to give you a point or a mechanism for you to actually be able to navigate tough and trying times and come out victorious on top of that, right? Because, again, this is the Hunter constellation. This is the, I'm going to focus, I'm going to kill whatever I have to kill, and I'm going to eat that day, right? But in this case, the star is mostly about, you're going to end up in some kind of situation that you're not going to be very happy about, and you might even willingly put yourself into this situation. So you need to do what you got to do, even if you kind of got to dull yourself down to go unnoticed, and focus on the influences and tools you're trying to bring out of that experience and get the heck out of that situation, right? Which is why I say this is a very Mars and Saturn-like placement. The reason for that is because even though this is kind of, going into different circumstances and situations and experiences, the whole point of this is going into and instantly being able to relate and go undetected, so to speak, which is why this is very Saturn-like. Because if you think about the planets that Saturn likes, Capricorn, Aquarius, and its exaltation of Libra, things work best when everyone's on the same page, when everyone can relate. You got to do this, this, and this. You got to do that, that, and that. I got to work on this. You got to do that. And you just go with it, right? Which is why this star system has a very Mars and Saturn-like energy, is because I'm going to go behind enemy lines, basically getting myself into a situation or circumstance that I don't necessarily want to be in, and then I'm going to come out on top better than you. But yeah, so this is putting yourself in certain situations and circumstances that, are definitely not going to be fun. But it's the ability and the capacity to come out of this on top better than anyone else who went into that situation with you. Now we have to talk about why is this the influence of this star, right? Why is it that the other 2 stars seem to be very, for the most part, calm, although Mintaka is like, I don't know, people have a misunderstanding about Mintaka. But anyway, why does this one seem to be kind of like the weird outlier, like, kind of crazy type energy of the Orion constellation. And you have to understand is where it's placed, right? It is in the lower section of the Orion's belt. Alnitak means it's the girdle, right? It's like the waistband of the Orion constellation, right? And the whole point of that is to, basically, this is the energy of literally surrounding, it's like constricting the life force out of like your enemies, right? It's like I'm going to squeeze the ever-living crap out of you until you die, and then I'm going to walk away like nothing ever happened. I don't want to say that people who have this placement get themselves into a lot of situations where they shouldn't, because they definitely shouldn't. It's on a very similar page with Scythe. Both of these energies are just getting thrown into situations, even though they kind of handle it differently. Like Scythe is like the I'm gonna scream my name as I run at you and I'm gonna kill you. Where Alnitak is like, I'm gonna get to know you, become your best friend, and then I'm gonna strangle you. It's like which one's really more violent at the end? The one where they allow themselves to become emotionally attached to you, and then they strangle you, or the one where you're going to see me coming and I'm just going to kill you because I'm better than you. So fortunate, right? Because after hearing all of that, is going to be a very good star or not? And I've said this before and I'll say this again, but with this star, it's really important to understand that the fortune that this star brings you is so entirely dependent on your awareness of the energy, right? If you're carrying the energy of someone who's going to go behind enemy lines, get to know the person, and then take what they want and just dip, then you could be putting yourself in a lot of situations where you shouldn't be that will not turn out to be very favorable for you. Or you're going to be putting yourselves into situations where you know you shouldn't be putting yourself into. You know, you come out on top, whatever, but a couple years down the line, you realize, oh, I've done some bad shit. Bam! Karma smash you like a motherfucker, right? Like, again, this star, I want to say this star is going to leave more on the unfortunate side, but you just got to be aware of how you use it and being aware of the situations, circumstances that you're getting yourself into, but also being aware to understand, oh, I have switched into the mindset where I'm going to be fake for a little bit, and I should really be careful about what my next moves are going to be, right? But what the heck is the whole point of this star being in the Orion constellation, right? Isn't this like a more, Scorpio-esque type of thing? Nah, it's more of a Gemini thing, but I'll explain it to you. So for the higher understanding of it, basically, Archangel Michael created this star basically to have energy to kind of sneak in behind, Lucifer's little shadow government and little minions that he's been using, whatever, trying to get people to do what he wants. And it's like, oh, I'm going to sneak in, pretend everything's fine, and bam, you're dead. Before you can even blink. I show up, you just die. When you realize who I am, you're dead. It's just how it goes, right? That's the whole purpose of the star being created. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Recap, because we got to hit you with the recap. Alnitak can be found in 25 degrees of Gemini, with an orb of 2, Bazinga, has the nature of Mars and Saturn, and its fortune leads towards the more unfortunate side. It really depends on your mindset and awareness of this energy. And international super spy. If you have this alignment, if you know someone with this alignment, I intend that this video gives you some much needed insight on how that energy plays out. Because I don't think there's another video about this star, because I'm the one who made it. Anyway, next time in the Orion constellation, we're talking about the sword sheath, Ansis. Yeah, the sword sheath of the Orion constellation. That was going to be up next. And that concludes our videos about the Orion's belt, the 3 most popular stars in the Orion constellation, and arguably the sky, boom, son. If you guys want to stay up to date with the daily alignments, make sure you, bam, follow Instagram at Solar Systems, and bam, follow the reels, because, who doesn't want to have a reel and story explaining the energy of the day every day on the daily when, you just do it yourself. I don't know. It's almost like we're making this too convenient for you. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that. If you want to request a reading, email us at readings@solarsystems.org. Boom, right there. And until next time, fly high, y'all.